Hi guys, let's get into the next part that we need to learn about histograms. This is the Ogive. So what we're looking at here, let me just quickly get to the page, there we go. What we're looking at here is just a standard histogram. What we've got here is, I'll change it to red and I'll change the pen, cool. So you got a title, that's good. You have an y-axis and an x-axis, both labeled, tick, tick, tick. 0 axes, tick. Well, we're off to a good start. So what we can see here is some information between 54 and 56 inches. People in this, so there are no students of this height, nor are there students of in the bin height 56 to 58. But there are two that are in the height 58 to 60, so on and so forth. We've already been over this, so I'm just going to skip it. I'm just going to go over this relatively quickly. So what I need to do now is show you a new kind of histogram, and it's called the cumulative frequency histogram. Cool, so I'm just going to copy this. Nope. There we go. So we have the same information from the histogram, we just need to add one new piece of information. And that is cumulative. What are you doing? There we go. So, sorry, cumulative frequency. Great song, by the way, if anyone wants to listen to that track. I'm going to make that black so that way it fits in, and we're just going to put it here. So, if I set this to this, it'll probably look alright. Yep, there we go. Cool. So, what we're trying to do is add up the values and how often they occur. So, the frequencies we've counted at the start are, well, 0, and then on the next one, 0 again, and on the next one, 2, because now the total frequencies are equal to 2. But what's our next one going to be? I'll give you guys a chance to think about it real quick, but hopefully it'll click in your brain. Well, it is 4, because the total times that we've seen an occurrence of something is 4. That's how many there are. Well, next would be 9. And then 14, and then 18, 22, 24, 25. Well, this is our cumulative frequency. Well, what do we know about this information? Well, you notice that the total frequency, 25, is equal to the number of students. This should make a lot of sense to people, because how could it be that the frequency didn't equal the number of participants? Now we're looking at every single person in the oops, let me just redo that. We're looking at every single person in the sample. Well, what I'm going to do now is draw you the cumulative frequency distribution. So that's 56, 58, 60, 62, 64, 66, 68, 70, 72, 74. So these are our bins. So this is what? 56. I'm just going to draw the end number because I need to know where it's at, but you would, if you had more time and space, you would draw the entire thing. 64. Let me redo that one. 64, 66, 68, 70, 72, 74. Great. So we have all the numbers here. So now we're trying to add it. Well, at the first one, we're still at 0, so it's just down here. And then the next one, still at 0. And now we've gone to 60. Well, sorry. One more thing is the x-axis and the title. So cumulative frequency distribution. This is, what is it, height in inches. And this here is frequency. Total frequency. Cool. So, say this is 5. Makes this 25. 20, 15, and 10. I know that that's off center, but bear with me here. Actually, let me change this one to 5. I'll just erase that real quick. No. There we go. Alright, cool. So, now we need to graph the information here, but what we're trying to do is graph the cumulative information. Well, from 54 to 56, we have no frequency, and the same for 56 between 50. But when it comes to 58 and 60, we have 2. There are 2 occurrences of the values that we're looking for. And then when it comes, oh man, God, terrible. And then between 60 and 62, we have another 2 occurrences of the value. So I'm going to increase that. And drawing is hard. Not an artist. So, and then between 62 and 64, we go up to 9, I believe. Cool. I'm going to go across. And then from 64 to 66 is 14. So we've seen 14 students total. Go across. And from 66 to 68, we get 18. Oh no. Oh, sticky keys. So fun. 60. Oh, what? $22, I believe, for this one. And then 24. And then 25. So now we have all the participants. And this here is known as our cumulative frequency histogram. It gives all the information about how the data fills up. So you notice that the gaps are larger here, for example, rather than here. So we can say that there's a greater jump between these 2 values. And the next thing I want to go over, I'm going to do the Ogive in, we'll go with turquoise. Not turquoise, teal. So our Ogive begins from our 0 point in the bins, and it goes across to there and there. And what it does is it matches the bottom left corner with the top right corner of the relevant bin. So it goes across like this, goes across like this, goes across like this. My drawing was better, this would look better. Ew. So this is our Ogive. The Ogive is the line. I'm just going to do this so that way if you get confused or forget about it, you can see the key. So the Ogive is the representation of where it's at in the percentile, I think, or something like that. What I mean by that is that these are values from 100 to 0%, right? And how often they occur. So when we look at the Ogive line here of 100% of all the students, we can see that this is the 100th percentile. So let's say you want to look at 12.5, right? Halfway through the data. Well, we're going to go, let me just redo that. You're going to go across from here, and you're going to see, okay, well, halfway in the data represents, so this is the 50th percentile. Well, the 50th percentile appears to be roughly 65 inches in height. That means that we would expect that if you are 65 inches in height, you are the 50th percentile of height in the group. Because, you know, oh, this should be 50. Ignore that. Because so half of the group is taller than you and half of the group is shorter than you if you're 65 inches, excluding the people that are the same height as you. Let's say you want to deal with, let's go with another one. So we'll go with 80%. So 80 is up here, it's 20. Well, let's go from 20 across. So if you're in the 80th percentile, well, it looks like you would be approximately 69 inches tall. and this here is just a common abbreviation, so this is a common abbreviation for inches, I believe. You'd be 69 inches tall. And what you could say is that 20% of people are taller than you are, and 80% of people are shorter than you are, because you are in the 80th percentile. This is the information that the Ogive gives you, and it's pretty important. So hopefully you get this understanding. Thanks. Have a good one. Enjoy. Okay.